Hello again there, everybody. This is going to be Jund League number 97. We've got some exciting new additions with the coming of Modern Horizons 2. Modern Horizons 2 released, I think, on the 3rd, and today is the 5th. So there's still a pretty limited supply of the Modern Horizons cards, all the new stuff. So since I'm using mana traders, I grabbed whatever I could. There's still a very high demand for Ignoble Hierarch and the Dothy Voidwalker, which is that double black 2-drop that's like Grave Hate and it can cast stuff that you've exiled. So those two cards, unfortunately, the supply isn't great enough where I was able to easily get them. So I got everything else that I was hoping to try, and I just adjusted the deck a little bit to support the things that I was able to rent. And the things that I was able to rent include 3 copies of Grist the Hunger Tide, 3 copies of Obsidian Charmaw, and 2 copies of Break the Ice. I don't necessarily think these are the correct numbers of those cards for a few reasons. First and most obviously, it's very early in the lifespan of these cards, so we really don't know how strong they are yet. And also, I just want to see the cards so I can actually use them and get a grasp of how powerful they are. So it's very likely that I should have fewer of these cards, but I just have a lot of them in the deck, so I'm more likely to see them, so I'm more likely to get some data. So other than the new includes, the main deck is pretty similar to what I usually do. My original version of the list, which is this, is what I was hoping to play today. Again, 3 Dothy Voidwalker, 4 Ignoble Hierarch. Again, I don't know if those are the right numbers, that I just wanted to see them, so I just have more than usual. But this is what I was hoping to play, but this list will be coming in the near future, probably within the next few days. But for now, due to supply and demand reasons, this is what we're going to be playing with today. So let's look at the current modern metagame, and this is not going to be immediately reflective of necessarily what we expect to see, because again, Modern Horizons 2 is out and everyone's running around with new cards, and this doesn't update super recently. This is a 30-day refresh rate, so it's usually pretty accurate, but probably not today because everything is so new and everyone's running around with different brews. So here is the top 15 as of, I guess, a few days ago, give or take. And we're just going to see what kind of shenanigans we run into with our own shenanigans. Let's just jump right into the matches. Sounds pretty slow. I think I'm probably going to have to ship. Yeah, this is just way too slow. We have nothing to do early. This is better. Let's bin one of the fetches. I'm gonna keep one of the. I'm gonna keep the cycling land for the Ren and 6. So I'll lead on Bloodstained Mire, probably getting Overgrown Tomb. I guess I could get Stomping Ground with the intention of immediately cycling this. That's not crazy. It'll have me losing a little bit of extra life, so maybe we don't want that to happen. Are we in a mirror already? That'd be interesting. No, I guess not. Oh, I wonder if this is one of the new zoo piles. Okay. Well, it's looking a lot like one of the new zoo piles. It could still be, I guess, a mirror of some kind. Naya mid-range. We have no idea what we're expecting to see because everything is new and exciting. So I'll just shock the Stomping Ground, get this thing cycled immediately. I don't really see a reason to wait, other than we can save maybe 2 life. Push should be fine versus Naya. That's good, but I think I want to get my Planeswalker going. Kind of keep up on cards with the opponent's Ren and 6. And then let's just get this cave back. We've already got a 3rd untapped land, so we should be fine. Had I had a bolt there, I might have... Well, I guess next turn maybe I could ping and bolt, but not really consideration here when we got to put all of our mana into this anyway. So it does look like it's the new zoo deck. They play the it's like a 12 mana 4/4 with Domain where it costs 2 less. I guess they just didn't have it. Alright, well that's a fine land to have drawn. I think Naya might actually have a hard time dealing with Goyf after it gets out of bolt range. So what I can do here is I could just lead on Thoughtseize, see what's up, and then I can deploy Tarmogoyf, getting back, I guess, Bloodstained Mire. Oh wow. All right, so not what I was expecting at all. So Dwarven Mine means that this gets a Villamachus directly into play next turn, right? Because the Dwarven Mine, it makes a thing, and then they can creativity it. I could take the Time Warp and then just intend on holding up Fatal Push, because they can't actually execute the combo, right? Because this targets for each permanent destroyed this way. So yeah, I could just hold up the push, but I really also want to threaten the run and 6. So kind of a sticky situation. So it's do I take creativity, or do I just take something like the Time Warp? I think I'm actually wanting to take the Time Warp and then hold up the push, because I can still cycle the Forgotten Cave, so it's not like I'm doing nothing. And then this way we can also take the creativity when they cast it. Alright, so I will push whatever they target with the creativity, and then cycle Cave. They might just not go for it, because they know that I have a lot of removal in the deck. But we also get to start killing this thing for free. So if they don't go for it now, they might not have a good time to go for it. So cycle. Inquisition, that doesn't really take much. Bob gets killed by their own Renin 6. So there's only one card we don't know about. I could Liliana, but the Renin 6 just gets the value back. I also need to make sure that Renin 6 is an ultimate, so they can just Time Warp a bajillion times. So maybe I should just actually play the Dark Confidant to give them incentive to ping it to make it easier to kill their Ren. I could also keep it off of ultimate with pings of my own, but I think it may just be better to play the Bob, because Goyf is 3/4. If we can add one type next turn, we can attack it and then ping it to kill it. So I think evoking a minus from the Renin 6 might actually just be good. So let's get basic Swamp, cast both of our creatures, buy back Forgotten Cave. Again, I'm aware that they're able to kill it. And if they kill it, that adds creature anyway, which means our Goyf and Renin 6 can combine to kill their Renin 6. We're hoping for not another Indomitable Creativity, though, because then they could, with other Dwarven Mine, execute combo. Alright, so they're taking the bait, assuming they don't have something else insane to do. Alright, so we get to attack the Renin 6 for 4, and then hopefully ping it down. And then maybe our Liliana can start doing some work. So I guess they're not Zoo at all. They can't be playing that domain thing. So this can get another Dwarven Mine to block. I should have cycled this, because maybe we find removal. So that was bad. I'm still going to do it, because I've got not much else to do. They let it get hit? Never punished, I guess. So if I go up with the Renin 6, I could maybe threaten an ultimate. But I'm kind of wanting to at least kill one of these. I guess we could cycle first to get some info, and then I could also just ping this Liliana Edict that. There's still a mana off of casting Villamachus. So I kind of like just making sure the board's empty. So that would have me pinging this, edicting that. But I guess there's 2 cards I don't know about. I could even Inquisition first. Let's just Inquisition first. Get some info. Maybe we actually get to take something. We don't. It's just lands. And Villamachus. Alright, so Liliana. Let's kill this, because if they draw their Indomitable Creativity, they get Villamachus going a turn earlier, and I don't want that happening. Kill their Ren and 6. And I will shock, because I'm going to cycle this. I'm going to use all my mana when I can. This is a 5/5. So ideally we find, I guess, either a Terminate or a Thoughtseize to deal with Villamachus, or it comes down this turn. We're going to have a few looks at it with the Forgotten Cave. We have 2 Thoughtseizes and 2 Terminates in the deck, which would be the ideal cases. Not quite. Not quite. Alright, well, let's start here. Not quite. Alright, well, this is free. I guess attack for 5. This is flying, right? It's a dragon. Yeah. Makes sense to me. I'm going to have to be wary of them putting another Mind into play, because that could mean that if they don't hit an extra turn spell, Liliana could Edict. So a push isn't the worst thing to have. I guess I should play around Remand by leaving up double black. They can have Revolt as well. Alright, so I hope that Villamachus doesn't hit a Time Warp effect. Because if it does, we could be in trouble. It only hits instants and sorceries, right? Yeah, with top 7. There's 1 Time Warp down. I'm assuming they've got at least 2 others in the deck, so I'm just really hoping to dodge that. What else is in the deck that would be nutty? I don't even know. So I guess getting this in case they hit an Indomitable Creativity. That doesn't make sense though, right? Because this is the only creature in the deck. Oh, they just have Time Warp. Sure. Well, I guess that's 1 less that they can draw off of the Villamachus. Maybe I should have Thoughtseized Time Warp instead of Villamachus. Well, if I don't take the Thoughtseize, they just ramp into more stuff. I think it's definitely close. It's a consideration. I was hoping to just be able to take out of their hand by the time we got there, and Time Warp jumps them a land too. It's pretty close. I mean, we wouldn't be in such a situation now, so it's a good point. Both are scary. So we know their hand. There are 2 of the 3 in their hand. Here's the thing. So we're hoping for not a Time Warp effect. We're not just dead to a Time Warp effect, but it gets much harder. Because we'll go to 2 effectively. And them leaving this back might indicate that they don't have it, because we would be just dead to 2 hits from the Dwarf as well. So maybe the last card in hand isn't something good, and they're trying to rip here. And if they hit Time Warp, they probably would have slammed it by now, right? Oh, they did hit Time Warp. Well, kinda. So they don't get an untap step? Sure. So we'll go to 7. So they get another attack, which is just another look at it. So they think they can kill us here by attacking all, but we'll get to push something. Saying if opponent wasn't running Ren, this could be a good matchup to bring in Braids from sideboard. Yeah, but Braids would be funny. Alright, so I'm going to let them make their decision as to what they hit. Before pushing. I mean, even a Bolt would do it at this point. They hit Time Warp. Okay. Brutal. Yeah, so I could have taken that Velomachus, but then I'm leaving it with Time Warp, and there's not really a good situation. So I can engineer for Dwarf to turn off the whatchamacallit. I could also Brutality to take their powerful instants and sorceries. Do they have anything graveyard related? I guess it's really only Run and 6. I don't think that Grist is actually going to be good enough here. Like, making blockers doesn't really matter. I guess if they've got Ren and 6s and like Jaces, then killing those can be very good. Lilianas do not seem fantastic. Like maybe it pressures their hand before they can cast a dragon like they did last time. That seems pretty niche. Against Ren and 6, maybe I should shave a Bob. And the spot removal isn't great, but I do need it to shut off Indomitable Creativity. It's so dead everywhere else, though, that maybe I should just cut 2 of the pushes. Because I also do have the Plague Engineers as a way to disrupt that plan. Let's give that a go. Yeah. We've got an Inquisition and a lot of pressure. So I'll lead on Blood Crypt. Well, I'll take the Bolt. You think Ragavan might be good? Yeah, it could be. I have no idea. Terminate. Alright, well that's a way to kill the dragon before it attacks, which is nice. Let's get our pressure in. Did you draw a Spell Snare? Don't know if they play it. It's probably pretty hard to play Spell Snare when they need so many mountains in their deck. I guess you could Steam Vents pretty easily. They didn't draw a Ren and 6. Hooray. Alright, well, we don't know that takes anything. Let's lead on attack and then try for a second Goyf. And then hope this doesn't get countered, I guess. 2 cards we don't know of. Even a Remand would be very bad here for me. You drew it? Yuck. Admiral, thanks for the resub. I appreciate it. You normally watch on YouTube? Yeah. My stream schedule is real irregular, so it'd be pretty hard for just about anyone to watch super often. Okay. So if they have Indomitable Creativity, this can get Dwarven Mine, and then they can immediately Creativity to put a Velomachus into play. I really don't want that happening. So I think what I'll do is I'll hold up Lightning Bolt, which means I get to either play Spell Bomb or Inquisition here. I think I'm going to play Inquisition because the next turn if I find a land, I can play Tarmogoyf and continue to hold up my Disruption for the combo. So I think this is good. I mean, there's only 2 cards we don't know of. And if they had a red and 6, they would have played it. So this is really just another 2-mana counterspell check. Oh, they do have double creativity. Jeez. Alright. Well, glad I didn't just tap out and die. Hey, Mom. So this game's going okay, assuming they just go for the creativity and not play around exactly Lightning Bolt. It's not super hidden that we have it. Because we could have just played another Tarmogoyf. But, I mean, casting Inquisition tells the opponent that we did have other stuff to do that we wanted to do. So, I mean, had I just straight not done anything, it'd be a lot more suspicious, and maybe they don't go for it. But since I cast Inquisition, I think they're more likely to actually just go for it. And pretty nice that they only have 1 blue source in play, which means that they can't get another Dwarven Mine and Time Warp. Alright, well, there's 1 card we don't know about. They do have access to another Dwarven Mine via Bloodstained Mire. So I could play around the card I don't know about being another Indomitable Creativity and the card that I don't know about being Indomitable Creativity. The thing is, like, even if they don't hit it here, they can just Time Warp into Time Warp. So they may just hit it naturally. So I'm kind of feeling like I would like to hold up a push. So I think I'll just Spellbomb attack. It's not great because this is going to give the opponent some extra time. Assuming they don't just hit it here. Like, I'm not putting additional pressure into play. So this could be bad. What's up, Nick? Doing alright. Hope you are as well. How was your birthday? Yeah, so this just might be starting to cycle Time Warps. So we've got land, instant sorcery in the yard, which means that if we pop Spellbomb, we're actually growing Goyf. Hopefully they don't get to the point where they can just cast Villamachus naturally, which we could have played around by not playing Spellbomb and just holding up Terminate. This Time Warp again. Uh-huh. Alright, please don't just cast Villamachus. They need land and the dragon. Land is not the hard part. Yeah, maybe playing the Spellbomb was wrong. Feener2677, thank you for the follow. I appreciate the support. Alright, please don't cast Dragon. Please no Dragon. Ren and 6. That is not a Dragon. Alright, and then in response to the activation, I think I will pop Spellbomb. It's kind of interesting if I should pay the mana here, because if they've found a creativity, I could also just die to it. But the thing is, I'm gonna die to it anyway, right? Because they could always sacrifice Arid Mesa, get another Dwarven Mine, and then just target 2 things. So given that I can't really play around it anyway, I'll draw the card. Lands would be nice. I would love to be able to terminate and push. Yikes. Well, their card isn't the good thing. I think if I attack, they're pretty likely to block. But at this point, I should probably just hold up the terminate for the Villamachus. And I think I should actually attack the Ren and 6 now, because it is a one-hit kill, so they're inclined to block anyway. And if Planeswalker goes to the yard, we kill him in 1 hit also anyway. But not hitting lands by turn 7 is feeling rough. I guess this tells them I don't have a burn spell. And if they just cast the Villamachus now, we can terminate it. So not the end of the world. Yeah, the deck doesn't like lands today. Sure. Alright, and I would like to not just die, so let's hold up terminate. So we've, any Dwarven Mines here? No. So they still have 2 in the deck, which means this can get Dwarven Mine and get them a 1/1. And then they can buy back the fetch land and use that to get a 1/1 as well. If they don't target this with an Indomitable Creativity, I will push it end step. Flaquillo Master, thank you for the follow. I appreciate the support. Despite having only 2 lands, this isn't the worst scenario we could be in. They've got 2 cards, one of which is not a Time Warp or a Dragon. Could just be a land, which would be the ideal case. They don't actually have the white for the Dragon, interestingly enough. We do know they have Sacred Foundry in the deck, though. Go to 1. Did you draw the dragon? Well, if they just play the dragon, we win, right? Because we can terminate it. Oh, wow. Well, I guess I have to push in response, right? Because if their last card is creativity, I would just die to combo. So let's push. I guess now even a burn spell wins here. Because they're at 1. Even a Ren and 6 would win here, assuming no counter. Because even if their last card is the creativity, they could just go for it next turn too. I'm assuming they've got another Dwarven Mine. They've got Arid Mesa just rolled up. This game would have been real easy with another land. The untapped land here would still be very good because we could Thoughtseize to make sure the last card isn't a kill and redeploy a Tarmogoyf. We can't hold up Terminate anymore because Teferi exists. So really, really, really would like to find untapped land. Untapped land? Jeez. Well, do I Thoughtseize and try to survive, or do I just slam a Goyf? I mean, Goyf would be the go for the kill line. I really don't know. I mean, if they draw it off of the top, they draw it off of the top. We definitely can't beat that. They have 2 creativities gone already, and playing Thoughtseize is the only thing that it plays around is another creativity. The odds seem low that they've got it. So let's just go for a kill. Yeah, Thoughtseize does prevent us from just dying, but it also gives them another draw step to find it. Like, we're never beating... Thoughtseize is never beating the top card of their library anyway. Yeah, exactly. Like if I wait, they just have more time to find it. So I gotta force them to have it at this point. Obviously, not finding the land over 8 draw steps is real unfortunate. Please don't have it, I guess. The first game was really close too, but this is a different kind of close. I guess they're redrawing to it. Swamp. They can still just cast Dragon. Oh, they didn't have it. Sick. Gorge94, thank you for the sub. I really appreciate it. Those are always appreciated but never required. They certainly feel good though. Let's think here. We are on the draw versus Ren and 6, so Dark Confidant does get a little bit weaker. But assuming no Ren and 6, Bob is really strong. Haven't seen a Grist yet. I think I'm just gonna keep this. So just resubmit it. I think I'm happy with the number of answers I have to Dwarven Mine for creativity. Especially with the engineer just strutting off the mine plan completely. This hand looks a lot like the last one. We had disruption into Goyf with the Terminate and 2 lands. I mean, I'm keeping it. We've got the Thought Season. We've got the pressure. We've got the way to keep him off of Dwarven Mine, and if they can put a Villamachus into play, we've got Terminate. So I mean, it's looking good. There's Grist. All right, Shock. No Veil, please. Uh-oh. No Veil, please. Aw, crap. Aw, crap. Hiya. Well, I guess they're not veiling my Terminate, hopefully. No Ren and 6, please. Okay. No Remand, please. I mean, I know there's like stuff I have to ask if they not have every single turn, but their deck is gonna line up pretty well versus ours if we can't get down early. So I guess we're getting Overgrown Tomb. Bob is good. Kind of want to just do that. It's more susceptible to a Lightning Bolt. But they didn't have the Ren and 6, and the earlier Bob goes, the better. So let's play that and hope it resolves. Then obviously Bolt would make me feel bad, but I mean, if their next play is to Fairy, it really doesn't matter what I get because they're bouncing it anyway. Alright, well, it wasn't Remand, so please no Bolter to Fairy now. And it's not like I have a better line. Like, if I'm playing around all of these things, I could just not do the thing that plays into all of it. But I don't have another good option. I'm not going to do nothing versus this control deck, or what is basically a control deck. So I kind of just have to jam, I think. You don't think Jund will be competitive after MH2? I mean, I think Jund probably got kind of the most tools out of everything. There are like 6 or 7 cards that all might be good enough. Jund is like the deck where it's never great, but if you make every decision close to correctly, then you've got a 50-50 chance. Yeah, Jund has been good in the recent past. I've had real good experiences with Jund. Yeah, Doffy is one of the cards I'm really excited about. I think that card could be great. They didn't have a Bolt. That's exciting. Or they've just got the Teferi and they were waiting to bounce it. If they Teferi bounce it, and I hopefully find the land unlike game 2, I may have to Kolaghan's commands to finish it. Prismari command. Okay. Well, that, I guess, answers it too. Can I draw a land, please? Land? Kind of. Well, I'll have a land for every other turn. I could just play a Goyf to continue getting pressure down, but I think I'm gonna need to double spell sooner rather than later. Does Dothi replace Goyf? I don't think so. They're both pretty good beaters, but I mean it's hard to get more efficient than Goyf. All right, let's get Stomping Grounds. All right, so we can get this Bloodstained Mire back, which is nice. So I'm wondering what I'm doing here. I think I'm going to go for the Goyf hold up Terminate. They didn't have fetch into Creativity, so maybe playing around Creativity is wrong. I could just Grist here, but I feel like getting pressure down is almost just more important. And then next turn I can make the play of Engineer plus Terminate if I don't have to use the Terminate here. Then if they remand this, I might have to just let the remand happen. Because I really don't want to just die to Villamacus when I could terminate it. You have seen gameplay with Dothi and Goyf, they mesh fine. Yeah, I mean, it seems like they'd be fine together. It only exiles opponents' cards, right? Like, it doesn't exile your own. If it exiles your own, it's more of a non-bow, but it's still probably just fine together. Prismari, create a treasure, draw 2, loot 2. Alright, well, I don't have any responses to that, obviously. Renin 6 was a good draw. I mean, naturally finding a land might have been better, but we get to keep hitting lands now, which is good. The most hyped and probably fallen out card is Ragavan. Haven't seen too much from it. I mean, it's a good card if you've got it early, right? But if you don't, it gets outclassed by pretty much everything. Is Murktide's the one that makes the thing an island if you kick it, right? Savor the moment. Sure. Well, that's one of the weaker savor the moments that I've seen. Remember, they don't get an untap step. So this is literally just draw a card. And, I guess, rampant growth. Oh, maybe they go for the creativity. Alright, well, having another land in hand means that I can probably get away with just killing this, this thing with the Renin 6. Alternatively, I could just play the Plague Engineer, and then if that resolves, great. If it doesn't resolve, then I'll have to go downstairs. So I think I'm leading on Engineer. Name Dwarf. Alternatively, I could get Grist going and hold up Terminate, but having pressure already, I think I just need to keep them off of combo. And then hope they don't just like cast their dragon and have another Veil backup. They played one Veil already and they discarded a Veil. So maybe they're feeling safe. I shouldn't have played that land yet. Because I'm buying, I guess I still get to buy this back for free. Alright, so let's do this. Leaving up a black and a red. Name Dwarf. If they remand this, I'll just minus on the Dwarf with the Renin 6. Dwarf goes away. And then we'll get Mire back after attacking, I guess. Since Spike has been playing 3 of it. 3 of what? The blue 8/8 flyer. But he also played Rage Channeler and casted more Rage Channeler than actual Ragavan, unless it wasn't dash on turn 6. Yeah, I mean, like, Ragavan, like I said, like, it's gonna be really insane if it goes completely uncontested and you have it on turn 1. But, I mean, a lot has to go right for that to be the case. So, I'm attacking for 6 next turn. I could ping the opponent now, because if I attack for 6 next turn and ping them next turn, that puts them to 2, and I have Kolaghan's Command to maybe finish them. I don't actually need the land yet. Yeah, let's go downstairs. Get them a little scared. Maybe they do something desperate and they have to go for it sooner rather than later. We maybe shorten the clock by a turn if we go downstairs now and next turn. Time warp. Yeah. Time warp and no land drop. So they just got 4 action cards. They found the land. Well, that means if they just cast Villamachus and they've got 3rd copy of Veil, we could be in trouble. And I'm not going to sacrifice this peatland. I think I want all of the mana. If they get Dwarven Mine, it'll just immediately die. The dwarf, that is, not the land. So I guess please no Villamachus and 3rd Veil of Summer. That would be how we probably lose. They need to have Villamachus and Veil of Summer and hit something with it. Unless this is something I'm not thinking about. They're conveniently holding up Veil mana. Do you got the 3rd one? Please no 3rd Veil? Oh, they have 3rd Veil. That's nutty. Well, they did discard the 2nd one, so they might have just been flooded on them. No extra turn spell, please. If you don't hit an extra turn spell, we could still just win. Please, no extra turn spell in the top 7. We had 3 of them out of the deck already, so they have maybe 5 more. Yikes. Still not just dead, but it's looking difficult. Alright, well that'll die. Maybe something that I should have thought about is I could have used Kolaghan's Command to shatter one of those things. Because if the way that we lose is they have exactly enough mana to protect Villamachus. Alright, so we're dead. If the way that we lose is they have exactly enough mana to protect Villamachus, then maybe I can take them off of a mana. But I don't think there was ever a window where I had 3 extra mana to spend on killing a treasure, right? Because I mean I was doing stuff every single turn. I guess like the one way I guess is I could have, instead of using Plague Engineer, held up Kolaghan's Command. That's about the only way. This also just assumes that they don't just have the requisite lands as opposed to treasures. Alright, well this game's over. Where'd it go? Veil of Summer is a card. Hate that thing. Saying Break the Ice is a big oof. Is it? It's bad in that matchup. If you're talking in general, then yeah, it seems pretty good. But in that matchup, no. Yeah, Charmaw seems great as well. I'm more excited for Charmaw because it's also a clock. And a big clock that's evasive, which is exciting. We're playing against Taxes, I think. I think I'm taking Rip Apart because that means that our Bob gets to live for a cycle. I'm not super afraid of Banisher Priest. We'll get to Thraben Inspector here. I'll get to Bob. Then I'm assuming they Thalia. I probably terminate that. I tend to not like to sideboard for combo matchups because those matchups already tend to be good. I drew Vile. Not good. Liliana is good. If they just cast their Thalia, though, we could be needing to spend lots of mana to kill that first. So how are we addressing our land situation here? I don't want to get basic forest because that doesn't cast Terminate or Liliana very well. So I don't mind getting basic swamp. So I guess I could just do that now, and the next turn I can fetch Stomping Ground. Am I afraid of Leonin Arbiter? I guess I get boned either way by that. So let's just get Stomping Ground now. Necromancer also just hits every deck, including Tron, so it has more versatility than Break the Ice. It's easier with Ignoble on the play. Yeah, with Ignobles, it may get better. It almost definitely gets better. Obviously, casting anything ahead of schedule is going to be good. So here's probably Thalia. We can terminate that. They can also violin their Thraben Inspector. Alright, Bob. Do the thing. We revealed another Liliana. Alright. Well, is there any reason to wait? Probably not. I guess I'm getting basic swamp no matter what. They could have flicker effects. They are playing things like Banisher Priest, Thraben Inspector. So to play around flicker effects, I'm just going to get this out of the way now. Because I don't want this thing getting saved. Especially when my future interaction is so mana heavy. Do I want to offer a trade? Probably not. That said, if they attack, I might just block, because that makes the Liliana Edicts better. I think I will actually block. Usually I don't like blocking versus the decks that don't threaten our life total really well. But because blocking makes our Lilianas so much better, it's actually, I think, pretty reasonable. Like, we've already gotten our card off of this. Them knowing about Liliana makes it a little less gimmicky. Just casting it? Sure. I mean, I guess I still Liliana Edict here. Maybe Liliana can kill the other one. It's not great. Peatland not great either. Could plus, but it's such a disaster if they have something to violin at 2. I think I'd rather just guarantee be able to kill something. Bye-bye Thraben Inspector. No 2-drop, please. Okay. Just yield to this. Maybe they don't have a 3-drop either, because they maybe wanted to spend mana casting a 3-drop, but they also just have Vial on 3, so that's just not even the case either, right? Alright, so we would love to find some removal here. Just to get everything dead. Like, if we Liliana Edict and they play something in response, it can get hairy. Well, Thoughtseize can at least check. It's not great. It's just lands. Okay. Don't want to discard the Peatland when it comes to discarding, so let's just put it into play. Edict their 2/2. They just concede. Sick. There's a world where Bob can get us in danger, but I really don't think that's gonna happen. Let's bring in Fatal Push. Brutality kills just about everything in their deck. Engineer seems great versus them as well. They're playing Thalia, probably Flicker Wisp. Is Charmaw interesting? How many colorless lands do they play? Not many, right? Did they even play any last game? I don't remember. Doesn't look like it. They just straight conceded? Sure. How's Grist? We have yet to cast it. So I could not tell you. We haven't cast a single new card yet. And for those who've got here recently, the reason I'm not playing Ignoble and the Dothy Voidwalker is because they weren't available on Mana Traders yet. The set's still very new, so demand's very high while supply is very low. So I was unable to get them. But hopefully in the next few days, when more are open and there's less excitement, I'll be able to start playing with them. Yeah, Papa, I felt a follow-up question there, so I figured let me just get it out there for everyone. Everyone who's wondering. Yeah. Break the Ice obviously uncommon, so that was easy to find. Then Charmaw's like less than a ticket. Let's go first. Playing against Doll of Cutie. Alright, the sand looks fine. If they're playing a creature deck, the sand is excellent. So I'm pretty likely to be fetch-shocking this Verdant Catacombs by turn 2 anyway. So I think I'm going to lead on Verdant. Because if there isn't something that I want to bolt, it's going to mean that I don't have to fetch-shock at all. I can just do regular fetch. If I do end up wanting to bolt something, I'll get Stomping Ground. What was the first L against? We lost to the Velomachus Dwarven Mine deck. In some very, very close games. Game 1, they won by just casting Velomachus, which we maybe could have prevented with a different Thoughtseize decision like 5 turns before it happened. And then game 2, we won despite only having 2 lands by turn 9. And then game 3, they had 3rd copy of Veil of Summer. So when I terminated the Velomachus, they cast their 3rd Veil, which was pretty brutal. Goyf time. What's up, Insect? They didn't reveal a companion. Or we get to bolt that out of the... I was going to say out of the sky. I guess out of the hole in the ground. Do I want to terminate it for any reason? Probably not. They're probably playing like Goyfs and stuff. And Bolt is going to have a harder time killing those. So let's just bolt. Play the Mire. And if they've got Liliana of the Veil, it'll be unfortunate, but we can still Edict. We can still bolt the Liliana to kill it, but Liliana is going to be just about worst case here. Alright, I guess they don't have it, because they probably would have just waited to Edict and save the push for something else. They did know about a bolt, but we used a bolt. There's the Voidwalker. Alright, well, you're the reason I can't rent it on Mana Traders. Alright, let's just bolt this right now. And our bolt is exiled. Let's get Overgrown Tomb. Oof. So we're getting a little punished here. I should have played the other land prior, because now if I plus, I'm kind of forced to discard something good. I still think it's probably worth keeping the Terminate over the Peatland. So I guess let's plus discard Peatland. If they have their own copy of Liliana, then it will be better to just play the Peatland because we're losing everything anyway. But I think it's probably still better to hold the Terminate. So yeah, small misstep there. Again, if I had the Peatland in play, I could sacrifice it later as opposed to just having a tomb in play. Like if I get flooded going forward. Alright, well, we've got a Liliana to take care of that. I could just terminate it to keep going up with the Liliana. It's not crazy. Let's see what we find. I kind of like continuing to go up with the Liliana. Because like if I Edict here and then they play another thing, I have to Edict again almost immediately and then I lose the Liliana. And I can get empty-handed here. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna terminate. Red, black. That way we can keep going up. They're gonna untap with 2 cards here. So the unfortunate scenario here, which terminating now doesn't play around, is if they find 2 creatures here. If they find like a Goyf and another Hexdrinker, then I could be in trouble. Bloodbraid? A push. Alright, well I guess we keep going up. They can start activating Castle now, which is an issue. I don't think I'm ultimating just to take him off of castles. We're about to lose to castle though, unfortunately. Unless we draw real hot. Alright, well luckily Bobble doesn't pressure a castle. Another land, not great. Imagine if we found Grist there. That would have been pretty sick. Lands are obviously great, or the opposite of great. We're just going to continue getting buried by castle. We just don't want to see multiple creatures at the same time. They're seeing a lot of cards. Ghost Quarter, that's not so bad. Yikes! Just Luris in the deck. Well, there's the 2 creatures we were worried about. Should probably just play Hexdrinker here. Playing Goyf instead? Okay, well if we find removal here, we could still be in a fine spot. We have to find it exactly here. I could ultimate just to kill both of their creatures. I kind of have to, right? Because otherwise Liliana gets smacked anyway. Just like do something like that. Can I sneak a land in with it? Nah. They could probably just keep the creatures and be fine, to be honest. We would like to not find another land, please. Creature here would be bad, because then we can't Edict it with Liliana immediately. I didn't have it. Alright. Big draw step again. We've hit 3 in a row land-wise. Jeez, 4 in a row. This is not how you win an attrition war. They get to activate castle again. double not Lily? Don't know what you mean by not Lily. Double ult Lily? I have ultimated the same Liliana twice before. Yeah, double ultimate Lily could be interesting. I mean, we're gonna have to get pretty lucky the way that we're drawing. Even Ren and 6 would be great because we already have the Peatland to start comboing with. Yep. Come on, deck. Could I get a good one, please? It's not a land. Jeez, that's 5 in a row. Versus Castle. I don't know how we're still in this game, given they've drawn 5 cards with Castle and we've drawn 5 lands. All right, we're pretty much just dead to that. Now we need to find exactly Liliana so we can edict it. I mean, if we can edict it, we're back in the game somehow. Take a land out of the deck. Can we hit, what is it, 6 or 7 in a row? Cycle. This would have been so good before. Liliana? Absurd. I mean, we still could have drawn towards the Liliana, but they're just drawing a bajillion cards and there's no way we can beat it. Spell Bomb. Fatal Push. Is Charmaw good? They don't have many colorless lands. They do have lots of Ghost Quarters and Field of Ruins, and 4/4 Flyer might just be good. Let's take out all of the discard. Maybe we get domes for 5. No fear. Yeah, we aren't playing a Ravine right now. That's a nod to having a higher than average curve. You're saying we want Ashiok? For what? It only stops Lurrus. We were bringing in Spellbomb for that already. Like, if Ashiok was stopping something more unfair, I'd be more inclined, but it really isn't doing much. Yeah, it's 4/4 Flyer. They can't be bolted or pushed. Less relevant bolt-wise, because they're just playing Rock, it looks like. Well, can't keep one land. Yeah, I can keep this. I'm kind of wanting to just bottom the Charmaw. We're the farthest from it. So let's just do that. We've got lots of interaction and things that we can cast, so it feels pretty hard to ship. Alright, no push, please. Now I wouldn't mind the lands. No push, please. Any thoughts on one of the green new elementals? I don't know what card you're referring to. Endurance? Oh, I think that card's bad. It, like, shuffles the opponent's yard once, right? Yeah, I think that card's quite bad. Blood Chief's Thirst. Brutal. Well, it wasn't a push. Yeah, how about we see some new cards? Well, if we find the new cards now, we can't actually cast them. Land? The decks felt great other than the fact that we can't find lands for our life, and then sometimes we just draw only lands. You got the Liliana too? Absurd. Alright, well I guess I'll stomp it. And I think I have to pitch the Bloodbraid. We've got plenty of pressure. Like I'm gonna stomp, and then if the opponent has literally any threat, we're gonna need to terminate to kill it. Yeah, this no luck in the past few matches. Can't catch a break. I mean, if we can find the land, we've got a decent shot. We've got Liliana of our own and double Bone Crusher to provide lots of good pressure. But we just need to be able to cast the stuff. Land? Unbelievable. We're drawing our good cards, we're just not drawing lands that cast them. Luckily they didn't do anything on their turn 4, so we're not super falling behind. Arasta. Reach. Whenever an opponent casts an instant or sorcery, make a 1/2. Alright, well I guess I'll terminate that. It's actually interesting. They could have Veil of Summer. Which maybe is why they waited. I mean, I guess I'm gonna do it. It's only on instants and sorceries, so I could hope to hit a land, and if we hit the land, we could edict it, and they don't get a 1/2. But I think I just like have to use my mana here. I'm falling so far behind doing actual nothing. Jeez, this... I can't catch a break. Holy crap. I'm done here. My one tap land in the whole deck. I'm 3 for 3 on matches with mana issues. I think 23 lands is probably just fine. I mean, I flood some and then get completely screwed the others. See, I don't even care about being lucky. I just want to not be unlucky. Yeah, exactly. I was super hyped to play some like competitive games with new cards, and then this happens. I mean, it does happen, you know, but it sucks to have it happen in back-to-back matches, or I guess not back-to-back. We won match 2, but match 1 we had lots of mana issues as well. Have you seen Grist in game yet? Nope. We have not been able to cast it yet. We've yet to draw one. We drew one in a game where we were already very ahead. And then we haven't drawn a third land in 3 separate games now. Alright, well this hand's got 3 lands. Can't go wrong, right? I guess I'll get Blood Crypt off of Inquisition number 1. Opponent says, hey Juns, sorry I'm 0-3, I can dropping to Joy Free Win. Oh, it's Mana Symbol. They're also a streamer. Alright, well I guess we get a free win. Alright, well 2 and 2. I'm definitely doing another league after this. But absolutely, how dysfunctional can this league possibly get? Jeez. I guess thanks, man. It's symbol. You're keeping the 3-2 dream alive. How much is Ragavan and MTGO? That is a good question. I will tell you in a sec. Whew. 81.94. A lot. Maybe we'll need it in our next iteration of Jund Rip Wallet. I mean, I honestly don't think that card will be very good. It doesn't really do a lot. I mean, obviously it does a lot, but it's only good if you've got it early. It's possible I'm wrong, and I think the biggest reason why I could be wrong is if we load up on more removal and we can maybe clear the way for the Ragavan to connect more consistently, then it could be very good. But it just doesn't do anything in a board stall, and it doesn't do a lot versus the faster decks. And there are a lot of faster decks where attacking is not the primary game plan. But I am, like I said, I could be wrong, and I am open to being proven so. Well, we're good at winning die rolls, not at drawing lands. Not at drawing lands. Okay, maybe we are good at drawing lands. Jeez. Alright, well, I'll keep 5. Hope Bob ends up being good. Bottom, a swamp, and a tomb. So you're not hyped on them. May actually be scared if it'd be the thing to do because it costs so much. Oh god, we're playing against Ponza. Well, I hate this league. I will get a basic. I got the wrong basic. I guess I can still get basic with this. Can still run in 6 next turn. What you got? Stomp. Brutal. Goyf is good, but I should probably just get this run in 6 down while it's uncontested. Would have been better to have this run in 6 down on turn 2. You got Bloodbraid 2. Wow. Alright, well, I'm probably not beating that either. Get the Skyboat. Find a land. This is a miserable league. Jeez. I mean, the games have been surprisingly good for how poor our land situation has been. I'll bring in the engineer for elemental purposes. That's about it. I'm not really liking anything else. Interesting to note that we don't have access in this list to Cleansing Wildfire, which is typically one of the ways we have of getting out from under a Blood Moon. Yeah, the draws have been absolutely abysmal. Again. Jeez. I guess. Hey, we finally found the Grist. Jeez. Alright, well, let's bottom. I'm going to keep the Grist because I would like to actually try to find it, you know? Keeping Thoughtseize. Maybe we can make sure that our Bob gets to stick around, and then I'll keep the Grist. If they've got multiple answers to a creature, I think Goyf will be on average better. But I think I just have to take the risky line because I'm already so down on resources. So hopefully they don't have like a Bolt and a Bone Crusher. Well, they've got a Bone Crusher. Facts No Fiction says Grist doesn't seem very good. On paper, I think it could be very good, but I couldn't tell you because I haven't cast it yet. It looks like it's going to be good in this matchup. We even found the land. Let's get basic forest now. I guess let's get basic swamp now, because if I find Liliana, I'm still going to have the option of casting it. Because if they find the moon in the next few cards, and I find like a fetch land for a green source here, I'll be able to fetch around the moon. I mean, maybe Grist is good here. They're gonna have a Planeswalker draw, and Grist kills Planeswalkers. We found a Bone Crusher. All right, Grist. If you mill a Grist, you get another counter. And another pest. Or I guess insect. It looks like it's going to be good here. They've got double forest in hand, so they still get to play around Blood Moon for kind of free. Peasy. They ditch a Finks. And the Foothills, okay. We revealed Overgrown Tomb. Alright, well this gets our green source. So we don't have to be super afraid of a Blood Moon anymore. I think I'm stomping the Pyromancer, which would open up an attack with our first insect after making another. Let's do that. Stomp this. Play this. Make a 1/1. Attack for 1. Grist is looking good here. Even when we were on 5 cards. I mean, Bob's already +2 to us, so we're back to our original 7. If they Chandra here, Grist can just kill it. Same as the situation with Karn. Oh, they have Bloodbraid, though. They hit another Pyromancer? Jeez. Well, I guess I'll probably block the Bloodbraid with the Bob just so it dies. They get rid of Chandra. Jeez. Go at Grist. And go at Grist. Let's keep Grist high. And I guess a block is pretty free just to kill an elemental. If I let it take the hit, I make 1/1 anyway. At least this way we have one of their things dying. We do have a Bone Crusher at the ready, which will block pretty decently. How many creatures do we have in our yard? Just 2? That's not a lot right now. Yeah, all lands all day, all the time. Our draws have been absolutely abysmal. Dark Confidant did draw us a backup copy of Grist, right? Because we flipped this, which is what we would have drawn. Another Bloodbraid? Jeez. They hit Arbor Elf. Well, I guess that's one of the better things for us that they could have hit. I think I'm double blocking with Pest. I could single block, but that doesn't actually kill the Bloodbraid. And I don't want to trade for Bone Crusher when it blocks everything else so well. Could I draw something good, please? Just literally anything good. I guess that's fine. Make another thing. Mila Liliana, which would have been bad. Pass. They found a bolt. That bolt is going to enable revolt for us, so we have the option of killing Seasoned Pyromancer with the push now. Did you find third Bloodbraid? Wow. This is the absolute worst league I think I've ever played. We're still coming out of it with the 2-3. But I've never drawn so poorly while simultaneously my opponents have drawn so well. It's kind of absurd. I mean, the Grist has looked very, very good here. It's the only reason we're even close to competing. Had this been any other card in the deck, I think I'd die like 3 turns ago. Hey, Sexy John, thanks for the raid. We've had a pretty dysfunctional league. Lots of shenanigans has happened, but we're going to be playing another league right after this one, so hopefully we get some better data from that. Wow, that was not a fun time. All right, so I'm gonna do a quick close up for this recording, and then we'll jump right into another one. Kind of feel like the new stuff is meh. Yeah, it hasn't been super exciting yet. All right, so let's look at the deck. I'll do a quick wrap up for purposes of the recording. So the experiment here was Grist. Again, I'm working with mana traders, so while the supply is super low and the demand is super high, I haven't been able to get a hold of everything. But the new cards felt like kind of just fine. We were only actually able to cast Grist once. And the one time we cast it, it was fine. It was the only really reason we were competing when we started with 5 cards in hand. So, I mean, I feel like there's not really a whole lot to say other than our mana issues were absolutely insane. I think we got stuck on 2 lands over, like, the course of, like, 8 turns in 3 separate games. We flooded like, ridiculously in another 3 games, and then we had 1 free scoop win, and then we had another match where the opponent, we beat them game 1, and they just conceded the match. So, overall, just a really, really weird, dysfunctional Really weird league. So that's gonna be it for this recording. If you're watching here on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed this league. I can't say that I did, unfortunately, but we're gonna jump right into another one. So if you're watching on Twitch, stick around because we're jumping right into another one. So if you're watching here on YouTube, thanks for stopping by, and until next time, Jund them out.